Tonight, the House January 6th committee standing down on some of its demands for some of the former President Trump's White House documents. This after pushback, interestingly, from the Biden administration, convincing the committee to scale back that request. It is the first time the Biden administration appears to have told the committee its requests on some fronts may have gone too far. Jessica Schneider is out front and joins us now. Explain why. What are these documents?
Well, these are documents from the National Security Council, and it means that for now, Poppy, the committee won't be getting hundreds of these pages from the Trump administration. So our teams actually reviewed several letters from the White House lawyers. They're telling the committee that these particular records don't touch on anything to do with January 6th. So in response, the committee has withdrawn their request for now. And like you said, it's significant because it does appear to be the first time the Biden White House has pushed back on handing over these Trump White House documents to the committee. Biden's lawyers are saying they want to keep the records secret to, in their words, preserve the confidentiality of discussions and advice around the presidency. We actually got a response from the committee late tonight saying that they may actually renew this request. So it's not over just yet. And remember, of course, there's still that fight that's now before the Supreme Court about whether 700 other documents from the Trump White House will actually go to the House committee. But those documents, of course, President Biden does approve of handing over. This is a minor setback, but it comes as the committee is revealing its plans for 2022. Sources are telling our team that there is a plan for an interim public report that could be released this summer and then a final report by the fall. And plus, we're seeing that plans are in the works for public hearings in 2022, but no exact timeline on that. So, Poppy, the committee has conducted up to this point much of its work behind closed doors. So this could be a chance in 2022 for the public really to get a glimpse of all that this committee has uncovered in its interviews with what they say is hundreds of witnesses so far. Poppy?
Jessica Schneider, thank you for the reporting tonight. And now I want to bring in Democratic Congressman Jamal Bowman of New York. He is calling on President Biden to make January 6th a day of national healing, writing in a letter to Biden, quote, "I urge you to use your executive power to highlight the injustice of January 6th and make sure the trauma it caused is not lost to history." Good evening, Congressman, and thank you for your time.
Of course, good evening. Thanks for having me.
Has the president or the White House responded to your letter?
Not as of yet, but there have been several conversations and there is interest there. I think it's very apparent when you see over 800,000 people dead from COVID, the trauma of the 2020 election, the trauma of the Trump presidency. We have the convergence of these complex traumas, and we haven't paused as a nation to collectively heal in response to these traumas. We've done everything we can to, get back to work and get the economy going, and that's fine. But without a pause, without reflection, without collective healing, our economy isn't going to take off in the way that it needs to. And we're going to continue to see some of the harm that's happening amongst our kids, amongst historically marginalized communities. So there's just a lot of healing work that needs to be done. And I think the president is the perfect person to lead that work.
I want to turn to another important issue in Washington, and you touched on it when you mentioned the economy and sort of broader economic healing, and it is the fate of Biden's domestic agenda and the nearly $2 trillion Build Back Better bill. Democrats, some of them, are now open to breaking it up into smaller pieces. Here's what two of your House colleagues said about that.
If we can't get the bill in its entirety passed, then yeah, we have to look at options for how we can get separate pieces of that passed.
To sort of like hold back and put the foot on the brake right now and parcel out who gets in and who gets left out, I think is not good for the American people.
Where do you stand on breaking it up?
I don't agree with the approach of breaking it up. This is a bill that's been together for several months. There's been so much work to get the bill to where it is. It was a much larger bill, as we know, and it's been under attack from special interests and some of my colleagues who are a bit more conservative. We cannot leave women behind. We cannot leave children behind. We cannot leave people of color behind. We have to deal with the climate crisis, and we have to support the care economy and our seniors. And historically, we continue to leave these groups behind. And this has been my concern for several months.
We were looking back at some of the interviews you did right when you won your seat. And it was 1 year and 1 day ago on this network on State of the Union when you said this.
We cannot compromise when it comes to what are the needs of the people in my district. People are hungry, people are homeless, people are jobless, poverty rates are way too high, and my fight in Congress is going to be with the people of our district to make sure we deal with those issues explicitly and directly without compromise.
I wonder if it's been even more difficult than you thought then to legislate and get things done in Congress.
Well, first of all, I'm very happy that I've been consistent with my position, so that's great. Thank you for
There's
pointing that
always
out.
tape to play it back.
It has been difficult. It has been challenging, but I've been encouraged because, House leadership, Speaker Pelosi, Chairman Jeffries, the president, we've all been on the same page with getting Build Back Better done. The name Build Back Better comes from the understanding that historically we have left these communities behind. And now is the time not to make the same mistakes that were made by FDR in the New Deal. The New Deal was great. It gave us Social Security. We had the Works Progress Administration. We responded to the moment, but we left women and we left people of color behind. As a matter of fact, we redlined Black communities that still haven't recovered in terms of the issue of wealth inequality.
But
So in order to heal as a country, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I hear you on all that, but I do want to push back and just ask you about compromise, because David Axelrod, former senior advisor to President Obama, wrote a really interesting piece yesterday in the New York Times talking about the Affordable Care Act and the lesson of going with it even when you don't get everything you want. Remember, President Obama, they dropped the public option because they couldn't get all the Democrats on board, and they got something. He said, you can't always get what you want, so get what you can. To paraphrase Roosevelt, it's time for a rendezvous with reality and to fight for what is possible. Is there not a lesson there?
Of course there is, but here's the thing. Black people are always compromising. Latinos, always compromising. Immigrants, always compromising. The poor, always compromising. This isn't about compromise. This is about special interests controlling how Washington works. This is about the fossil fuel lobby, the pharmaceutical lobby, big money in politics, controlling how we govern, how we legislate, and framing the debate. I live in a district which, if we were a nation, we would have the 8th worst economic inequality in the world. When you're Black or brown in this district, you're more likely to be poor, you're more likely to have high levels of violence, you're more likely to go underfunded schools, and you're more likely to have housing that is devalued. That is unacceptable. And it's not just this district, it's across the country. Equitable investment in all of the American people is better for the economy and better for our democracy.